Hello to my beloved lecturer, Madam Haslina binti Basri. My name is Siti Sarah binti Sharif, and today I will present my individual assignment on business ethics, focusing on IKEA and its ethical issues in the global supply chain. So, for introduction, IKEA is a global furniture company that originated from Sweden. It is well known for offering affordable furniture using an efficient flat pack system. The company operates a large global supply chain that involves many countries around the world. IKEA strongly focuses on sustainability through its people and planet positive strategy and is also aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. However, despite its strong sustainability image, there are still ethical risks in its global supply chain. The main ethical issue in IKEA is the low transparency in its global supply chain, especially in wood source. There is a risk of illegal and unsustainable logging due to the complexity of the supply chain, which makes it difficult to fully trace the origin of raw materials. This issue leads to several impacts, including environmental damage such as deforestation and loss of biodiversity, social impacts on local communities, and overall concerns about ethical responsibility in business operations. From a utilitarian perspective, the focus is on achieving the greatest benefit for the largest number of people. IKEA provides affordable and accessible furniture to millions of customers, which is a positive outcome. However, the negative impact on the environment, especially in the long term, must also be considered. Therefore, if the harm to environment is greater than the benefit to society, then the actions can be considered unethical under utilitarianism. Next, deontology focuses on moral duties and rules rather than consequences. In IKEA's case, the company has a duty to follow environmental laws and ensure ethical sourcing practice throughout its supply chain. Even if unethical actions lead to profit or efficiency, they are still considered wrong. This means that duty and responsibility are more important than outcomes in decision making. Next, organizational behavior looks at how company culture and management influence ethical decisions. In IKEA, leadership style, communication, and organizational expectation play an important role in shaping employee behavior. If a company focuses more on cost and efficiency rather than ethics, employees may ignore ethical issues. This can lead to weak ethical awareness and poor decision making. Next, stakeholder theory states that a company must consider all stakeholders, not just shareholders. In IKEA's case, stakeholders include customers, employees, suppliers, local communities, and the environment. Ethical issues in the supply chain can damage trust, harm communities, and affect the company's reputation. Therefore, it is important to balance the interests of all stakeholders for long-term success. So, to improve the situation, an ethical framework is proposed to enhance transparency and sustainability in IKEA supply chains. This includes supplier screening, sustainability certification such as FSC, blockchain tracking for transparency, and independent audits. The purpose of this framework is to reduce environmental risks and increase trust among stakeholders. For roles and responsibility, different roles are clearly defined to ensure accountability. Top management is responsible for strategy and ethical enforcement. Procurement teams manage supplier selection and monitoring. Suppliers must follow ethical standards. Sustainability officers handle reporting, while independent auditors ensure transparency through checks and inspections. For monitoring and enforcement are important to ensure that all suppliers comply with IKEA's ethical standards. This includes continuous digital monitoring systems, regular internal audits, and independent third-party audits to ensure transparency. For minor violations, suppliers will be required to take corrective action plans. However, For serious or repeated violations, IKEA may suspend or terminate the supplier contract. Overall, the system ensures that the ethical compliance is not only encouraged but also strictly enforced. So, for expected outcomes, if this framework is implemented, several positive outcomes can be achieved. These include a more transparent supply chains, reduced environmental damage, increased trust from stakeholders, improve corporate reputation, and long-term sustainability performance. In conclusion, ethics play a very important role in global business operations. Although IKEA is a successful and sustainable company, it still faces ethical risks in its supply chain. Ethical theories such as utilitarianism, deontology, and stakeholder theory help guide better decision making. Ultimately, company must balance profit, people, and the planet to achieve long-term success. That's all from me. Thank you.